Right. I ain't came down, hold up. I done came down, hold up, clip the brain, fold up. And the girlfriend want a nigga like me, cause I ain't tryna control her. She called me when she wanna change. Black diamond, my pinky ring. She know you weak and we ain't the same. You hit the scene, I'll make the scene. I'm in her hand like Maybelline. H-time, so I made the lean. I'm in her soul, I make her scream. I'm about to told all paper change. I'm easy tag like Peter Pan. She want a man, told me a man. I'm flying down your boulevard. She cooking dinner with show fans. Draped up, fifth eye, yo bitch, you know what I'm talking about. Pulls up, pour live, we get it poppin' in the funky lot. She like to do it with the lights on. Don't matter to me if it's dark or not. I'm G'd up, geeked up, fossil pants, I'm hard to rock. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that don't really need you. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that ain't tryna keep. Yeah, that's what I say. Put you to bed. Daddy tryna love you, baby, just want you instead. And don't tell him nothing, baby, you know that I'm coming, baby. Just get on my phone whenever you need you some company. I've been checking my phone. Oh yeah, I got this drink in my car. I got this drink in my car. Right.
I done came down, hold up, grip the grain, roll up, young H-time in the Fayetteville. Got two girls like hold up, and with the good fella DJs, they got my song on replay. I'm swinging down that freeway, Fort Bragg, Army Base, and shout out to that Fayetteville State Main. Say man, yo girl say that you born bro, so she tuned in that morning show. Rush Paul, over average you just Paul. Foxy 99, that big stick to hating, we big boys. I'm draped up, dripped out, Fayetteville know what I'm talking about. Pulls up, pull out, I swing wide in that parking lot. I shine bright like the lights on, don't matter to me if it's dark or not. Let your top down, turn your volume up, all around the Ville. All around the Ville. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that don't really need you. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that ain't tryna keep. You heard what I said. They can put you to bed. That ain't tryna love you, baby. Just fuck you instead. And don't tell them nothing, baby. You know that I'm coming, baby. Just hit up my phone whenever you need you some company. Got this drink in my car.
Banks.
When I'm busy, ain't gon' waste my phone line on a set time, around 10, no daylight. Music first, so don't try. I'ma let you know when I'm on the road. Anywhere between 12 and 4. Kilo, no public post. Ain't no love, they don't need to know. 2 a.m. I'm tipping slow. Hit your line, I'm on the road. Next thing you know, I'm at the door. Hitting spots right on the floor. No connection, just sexy us. In the morning, no clue, but text to reiterate. There's no we, so the moment that we dip, there's no reach. Back on the road before 5. Refill my cup, so I'm alright. Coasting and jamming on soul time, but it ain't too long before I hit mine. Talking at this the last time. She want way more than a night ride. Know what my dudes and say alright. Then the next week she be tagging lines.
Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that don't really need you. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that ain't tryna keep. You heard what I said. They can put you to bed. That ain't tryna love you, baby. Just fuck you instead. And don't tell them nothing, baby. You know that I'm coming, baby. Just hit up my phone whenever you need you some company. Got this drink in my car.
Oh yeah, I got this drink in my car. I got this drink in my car. Right. I done came down, came up, slow pitch, change up, same hood, same style, same drink, same cup. She called me when she wanna fuck, I never call, she know what's up. Same page, same book, different song, same hook. Every time her nigga shit that she on the phone with the same crook. And every time I pull up, she hit me with that same look. Lips bite, she left from in for that get right. I'm in the middle like midnight. Only if you got that sip tight. Only if you got that wine fine. Only if you got that sip tight. Only if you got that mind bomb. Only if you got that sip tight. Eat that shit like one time. Joking, baby, I'm pimp type. I'm used to being that one and done. But girl, you got it, girl, girl, I know how much you really want so hard. Want somebody that don't really need you. Girl, I know how much you really want so hard. Want somebody that is trying to keep. You heard what I say? Get you the bed. Daddy trying to love you, baby. Just want you instead. And don't tell them nothing, baby. You know that I'm coming, baby. Just get on my phone whenever you need you some company. I just get my car. FaceTime. Oh yeah. I got this drink in my cup. So I got this drink in my cup. Girl. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that don't really need you. Girl, I know how much you really want somebody. Want somebody that ain't tryna keep. You heard what I said. They can put you to bed. That ain't tryna love you, baby. Just fuck you instead. And don't tell them nothing, baby. You know that I'm coming, baby. Just hit up my phone whenever you need you some company. Got this drink in my cup. H-time. Oh yeah. I got this drink in my cup. I got this drink in my cup. Cup.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hustler and Muscular back at it again. Early in the morning, my soul is soaring. Talking to y'all is never boring. Believe, achieve in order to succeed. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's tuning in. And yes, this is part 2 to my stream from the other night. I had to cut it short because I want to hop on Sweet Melanie Media's panel for Sweet Talk. Yeah. So this is part 2 to my previous show. We're going to continue our discussion with the whole son-husband and husband-son relationships and pick up where we left off at. But before we get into that, here's information to my Cash App. And there's my Instagram. If anybody's interested in knowing that, hit me up on my Instagram. Donate to my Cash App if you would be so kind. And not only that, let me put this message out here as well.
Like, comment, and subscribe, because it's just what the doctor prescribed. Life of Hustler and Muscular. That's my name in this game, Hustler and Muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe. Yo, it's the life of Hustler and Muscular. That's my name in this game, Hustler and Muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe and achieve.
All right, let's get back into this topic. As we talked about last time, we're talking about the whole son-husband and husband-son relationships. And as I said last time, the basic definition of a son-husband is basically a son who's acting as some sort of a substitute husband for his mother. He's basically taking care of his mother in the same manner as a husband would take care of a husband would take care of a wife. And I even show videos of people of a I even show a video of a young man who was basically on the verge of becoming a son husband. The young man talked about how his mother would try to get his attention in such inappropriate manners, such as buying new clothes or changing her hair, and then try to make sure her son is the first person who sees it. I mean, seriously, if you're a mother and this is how you interact with your son, that's not cool. Nuh-uh. And you want to put your son in a position of man of the house in the same manner that a father or a husband of the household would do. That's Because think about that. She's a single mother with no boyfriend or husband, and her son is the closest thing to a man that she has. So she has nobody really to turn to for that kind of comfort. And same thing with the son, a single man with a grown adult in his 20s, single, no kids, no girlfriend, no wife, and his mama is the closest thing to a woman that he has. So that kind of sets the stage for a son-husband relationship to pop off. Now, granted, that may not happen every single time, but when you stop and think about it, that's just how that goes. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Shout out to you, Centicole, unpredictable, always at your pentacle. Thank you for stopping by. Well, if you can't catch the whole entire show, I appreciate you for stopping by, okay? I appreciate you for stopping by. And shout out to you, Stoic. It's been a while since you've been on my show, Stoic, but thanks for stopping by. And you're right, it is incestuous. That's exactly what that is. It is sick. Because like I said last night, your son is just that. Your son. He is not a substitute boyfriend, a substitute husband, none of that stuff. But when you got these mothers looking at their sons as if they're a king or something like that, no, that's usually how it turns out. And I'm pretty sure y'all seen social media posts of these women talking about, I'm finna watch TV with my king, and it's a picture of her teenage son, or I'm gonna say her son in elementary school. Now, I'm pretty sure if a man did that with his daughter, saying this is my queen and we're going to have Netflix and chill together, y'all would be so disgusted. If I did that to my own daughter, which I don't have, by the way, y'all would be totally in the uproar. So why the hell y'all want to let these ladies get away with stuff like that? Why? Makes no sense. I just believe that women need to understand that sons are just that. Your sons. We talk about how your kids are not your friends. That's the way it's supposed to be. You discipline your kids. You're friendly with your kids, but you're not their friends. And by the same token, your son is not a replacement it's not a substitute companion. But some women unknowingly do this, have their sons act as a substitute companion by having them do things that usually a husband would do. And it's to the point where your son can't even have a life outside the house because he's constantly catering to you all the time. But yeah, we're going to pick up where we left off at. I know it's early in the morning. Some of y'all probably not even awake at the moment, but I'm going to be on for at least a good 2 to 3 hours. I got to be at work in the morning anyway, so I don't plan on being on here too long anyway. So if anybody can come up, yeah, that would be much appreciated. Because like I said, I started this live, Wednesday night, but I had to cut it short because I wanted to hop on this Melanie Amber's panel. Yeah, she has a new channel going on. Shout out to my homegirl, Sweet Melanie Media, aka Melanie Amber. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to her channel. Both channel. Well, her first channel is going to be obsolete. It's going to be taken down soon. So subscribe to Melanie Amber. Apparently, I don't have a link to that at the moment, but I will get it. As a matter of fact, on the live from last night, yes, the live I did Wednesday night, yes, I did put the link in the chat on that one. So yeah, be sure you subscribe to Sweet Melanie Media's new panel. But until then, enjoy the show. Okay, let's get everything set up. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe and achieve.
All right, let's get back into this. Pick up where we left off at. Oh, and Stoic, as far as her old channel, she said her old channel is going to be taken down. But as far as her old videos, I believe she's either going to post them on her new panel for, Throwback Thursday or whatever. She might do that. Oh, and speak of the devil, or speak of the angel. Shout out to you, Sweet Melody. Love what you're telling me. The way you kill it, it's a felony. Good morning, my girl. How are you? We were just talking about you. Like I said, subscribe to Sweet Melanie's new channel. And Melanie says you're a mod. Feel free to drop your new channel in the comment section so people can see it. And Stoic was just wondering what'll happen to your older videos. Well, I don't know what you're going to do with your older videos, but it's your new channel. Do what you want with it. Just don't get rid of all the videos, because we had some excellent discussions over the last year. We've been chopping it up. You and Swag both. So please don't get rid of all your videos. I'm not finna search through my like list only to find out some of your shit been taken down. Nuh-uh. Don't disappoint me like that. You nor Swag better not do that. But then again, I guess I can go to his channel and find some of your older videos from the Sweet Melanie Media panels. I don't know. Because for example, that video that Swag posted yesterday with the Carly Russell thing. I remember that over the summer. Y'all had me dying. That chick came on your show talking all that BS about you. You came up there to fire back, but unfortunately she didn't come up. And I got to sit there and watch you and Swag squabble like brother and sister. Y'all was killing me that day. That was a fun panel. Yeah. Not a problem, my lady. Not a problem. And she said she's gonna leave it up with no more streaming. Yeah, her old videos are gonna stay on her old panel, but she's not gonna be streaming over there anymore. Okay, makes sense to me. Like I said, just don't take down all your old videos, because we had some pretty good discussions. If I can't, hopefully I want to be able to find it from Swag on Swag's channel. And Stoic says, shout out to you, Sweet Melanie. I guess he ain't heard from you in a while either. Well, Stoic, long story short, her old channel, Sweet Melody Media, got demonetized because some lame brains don't know how to control themselves, first of all. And second of all, she got P-bombed a couple of times. So, yeah, that's the end of that. And by the way, Sweet Melody, if you would be so kind, drop your new channel into my chat, into my links so people can see it. Because you got my support as far as trying to get back on your feet as well. And before I continue on, let me put this message out here. Damn, okay.
The life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe and achieve.
Story, what do you mean? I was on some classic broadcasting at SMM. Classic broadcasting. Yeah. Is anybody no clown know what you're talking about? But I appreciate it. Classic broadcasts on at SMM, whatever that stands for. Yeah. But I appreciate the compliment. Stick around and enjoy the show. Yeah, let's go. And Sweet Melanie, if you're back there, like I said, drop the link to your new channel. I'll be dropping the link soon. So, well, it's a 20-minute marker, so I guess I could put it in there now. Usually I wait till the 30-minute marker, but it's early in the morning. I want to get people's thoughts on this whole thing. Yeah, so today's topic, we're talking about son-husband and husband-son relationships. I'm just gonna pick up where I left off last night. Here we go. Shout out to Riva TV. She does excellent content. I heard from her little happy ass and sold in almost a year, damn near 2 years. But she makes excellent content. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Riva TV. She does good shit. This one is called, hold on, the Sprinkle Lady. She-Ra, whatever the hell her name is. Sprinkle Lady proves how son husbands are created. I'm not going to play the whole video, but just the part that actually sparked my interest. Okay, so let's take a listen to this. Fair use, fair use.
The only true love that truly exists is love between parent and child. The type of love most women are looking for, they will never find an enemy. Okay? A man's job is to provide and protect. If you're looking for nurturing, hugging, and affection and all that stuff in you, men are not like that. Okay? So please stop looking for something that does not exist in them. Get their money. Love yourself. If you happen to marry and have kids, the most love you're ever going to get is going to come from a child, not a man. Okay?
Okay, I got to hear that one more time. Okay, folks, let's hear that one more time. But first...
The only true love that truly exists is love between parent and child. The type of love most women are looking for, they will never find an enemy. Okay? A man's job is to provide and protect. If you're looking for nurturing, hugging, and affection and all that stuff in you, men are not like that. Okay? So please stop looking for something that does not exist in them. Get their money. Love yourself.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, no, to the no, no.
This is ridiculous.
Love that truly exists is love between parent and child. The type of love most women are looking for, they will never find an enemy. Okay? A man's job is to provide and protect. If you're looking for nurturing, hugging, and affection and all that stuff, and men are not like that. Okay. So please stop looking for something that does not exist in them. Get their money. Love yourself. If you happen to marry and have kids, the most love you're ever going to get is going to come from a child, not a man. Okay.
My God. Oh my.
Emotional damage.
Okay, let's break down what she just said before we continue listening to what River had to say. So what she's saying is that the unconditional love of a husband is not nearly as important. The unconditional love of a child is more important than the conditional love of a husband or of a spouse or a lover. She says men will come and go, but your kids are going to love you forever. So you should put more value on the unconditional love of your child and less value on the conditional love of your husband. Need I remind you that the unconditional love that children offer is not the same damn thing as the conditional love of a husband? Don't people understand that that is not the same thing? You're right. She is wrong. She's absolutely wrong. She said the most important love you're ever going to get is the love of a child. And this is how these freaking son husbands are even created. When you start putting more emphasis on the unconditional love that your kids give you and less emphasis on the conditional love of your spouse, that's the definition. That's how son husbands are created. You start thinking to yourself, well, men are going to come and go, but my child or children are going to be there for me forever. So you start valuing that over, anything and everything a man can give you. The man is just there to provide and protect you. The man is just there to give you things that you want, need, and deserve, not to love you in the same way a child could. When are y'all going to wake up and understand that the love of a child is not the same as the love of a good man? Children are not your freaking lovers. And kind of children are not your lovers. They're your children. They're not your friends. They're not going to just love you in the same manner as a husband would. If you're a woman and you have sons or a son, your male children are not going to love you in the same manner that a husband or a boyfriend would love you. Both loves are very important. One should never be more important than the other. And I'm not throwing shades to you single mothers out there. I'm just giving you the hard facts. Your child should always come first. I understand that. But at the same time, don't put the unconditional love that your child gives you over the conditional love that your husband or boyfriend can give you, because the two are not the same thing. You can't go around treating your son or sons as if they're substitute husbands. And don't pay no attention to this stupid ass woman. No, shout out to you, River, but don't pay any attention to this stupid ass woman, the sprinkle lady, because she's just full of ish. Is ridiculous. She basically said you don't need a man because your children are basically all you need as far as love and support. Men are just there to provide and protect you. Your kids are there to love you forever. It's a bunch of bullshit. I'm trying to hold out on cursing until the hour marker, but I'm going to try my best. It's a bunch of BS. Oh, man. And Stoic wants that sort of thinking is mental. A child is not a replacement. Exactly. Thank you. A child is not a replacement. Like I said in the previous stream, your kids are just that. Your kids. They're not a replacement spouse or replacement boyfriend. None of that stuff. Can you imagine if a man said, now Stoic, I don't know if you have any daughters or anything like that, but how much you want to bet if you said this same kind of BS about your daughters, like your daughter could be a substitute wife or whatever, they will go up left side your head in a heartbeat. Hell, I'll probably go upside your head my damn self. What the hell is wrong with you? That's your daughter. First of all, it's disgusting. Second of all, that's your daughter. That's not your damn wife, daughter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Ugh. But let this crazy lady talk all this BS and they want to let it go. And anybody that want to come up, the link is right here in the description. Link is right there. Anybody that wants to come up, but let's hear this one more time because I got a lot to say. I'm gonna let River talk after I hear this one more time. And y'all wonder why I don't subscribe to the Sprinkle lady, because she's sprinkle. She's sprinkling a bunch of nonsense in these YouTube streets.
Type of love, the only true love that truly exists is love between parent and child. The type of love most women are looking for.
The only true love that exists is between that of a parent and a child. Okay, what kind of love are we talking about here? Yeah, you will be called strange. And okay, you don't have children. Okay. But what do you have kids in? I don't have kids either, so welcome to the club. But you can understand where we're coming from with this. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
The only true love that truly exists is love between parent and child.
That's the only kind of love that truly exists. Totally excluding the love between a husband and a wife. Totally excluding that from the picture. She makes it seem like the love of a husband and wife doesn't. A love of a husband to the wife does not matter. It's all about the children's love. That's bullshit right there. Fair use.
The type of love most women are looking for, they will never find it in a man.
Most love that women are looking for, they won't find it in a man. Well, she chooses the right kind of man, yeah, and stop trying to get love from these Pookies and Ray Rays. Yeah, she could probably find it. But you can't tell these broads anything. They rather mess around with guys who run in the streets and do whatever the hell they want to do. So yeah. They can find that love, but only from the right man. And first of all, and second of all, they have to make some changes within themselves so that the right man can approach them. Put it like this. If you're anything like this sprinkle lady, good luck trying to find any man that's going to love you. I can tell you that right now. But fair use.
Okay. A man's job is to provide and protect you.
I could have told you that. Yeah, a man's job is to provide and protect, but also love, care, and give you the D whenever you want to. The man's job is also to sexually, physically, and emotionally stimulate you whenever you need such things. You're not going to get that from your kids, hopefully. That will be the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Hell no, to the no, hell to the no.
So please tell me you're not getting that kind of stimulation from your own kids. That's why I say it's not the same freaking thing. Yes, a man's job is to provide and protect. Yes, if he's the husband, but at the same time, he got to fulfill other needs of said female. Like I said, sexual, mental, emotional, and physical stimulation. How the fuck you gonna get that from a child? That's just nasty. Okay, Stowe said it. That's just one facet of a man she's talking about. One facet of a man she's talking about. Exactly. That's just one facet of the man she's talking about. That's just one of the things a man is supposed to do. Like I said, he's supposed to stimulate her mentally, physically, and psychologically, and sexually. You ain't gonna get that from no goddamn child. At least I hope you're not trying to get that from your child, because that's just nasty. Let's see what else she has to say. Oh boy.
You looking for nurturing, hugging, and affection and other stuff in you. Men are not like that.
Says who? We are like that. And for what I understand, this woman is supposed to be married with a whole husband, but she acts as though she acts no different than all these these angry, bitter single broads out here. If you're a married woman, how the hell are you going to sit up here and say men are not like that? Men are not nurturing and caring and all that kind of stuff when you have a whole husband supposedly doing that for you. Now, if he ain't doing that for you, whatever, it is what it is. Y'all got issues. But I was told that this woman, Shira, whatever the hell her name is, Sprinkle, she has a husband. I was told she was married, but the way she's acting, she ain't carrying herself like a married woman. I can tell you that right now. So my men are not like that. No. If you're in a relationship or married to somebody, that's how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be loving and affectionate. What the holy mother of hell are you talking about? Seriously, this is just ridiculous.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
So please stop looking for something that does not exist in them. Get their money. Love your.
Get their money, she says.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
So she wants you to get at men just for money, not for love. So in her mind, a man can't give you the love and affection that a child can give you, so only get them for their money. And you're supposed to be a married woman? Are you effing serious? Okay, Stoic said her husband is an older man. Serm, she only married him for his resources. Oh, Serms, well, I guess you mean seems she married him only for his resources. Okay, I don't know how old her husband is. Okay, you said seems she married him for his resources. I wouldn't be surprised if she did. Now, still, we don't know her situation with her husband, but I wouldn't be surprised if she did. Because seriously, what married woman comes on social media spewing this kind of bullshit? What married woman does that? She's basically saying use men for their resources and put more value in the love of your children over the love of your husband. Men are only there just to provide and protect you, give you money, give you access to your resources. The love of your child shall always come first. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, especially coming from a married woman. Especially, I could see if she was single saying all this nonsense, it wouldn't make things any better, but it'd make more sense coming from a single person because now we understand her situation. She ain't got a man. We understand why she ain't got a man, but if she got a whole husband, why are you talking like this? Why? And now you're going to corrupt the minds of other married people. So you're a married woman. Please don't listen to this bullshit ass woman.
If you happen to marry and have kids, the most love you're ever going to get is going to come from a child.
If you're married and have kids, the only love you're going to get is going to come from your child. Again, you're excluding the goddamn husband. What about your husband? Ugh. She's excluding the love of a husband and putting the love of a child above all that. Ugh.
Not a man. Okay?
What a bunch of bullshit. Now, River spoke on this last time. But it's just mind-boggling. Oh, boy. But I guess we can hear a little bit of what she said because she spoke on this the last time. But now, shout out to River TV. Now, this is a woman you really should listen to. This woman's actually married. And this woman here is actually happily married. So, yeah, she makes more sense. But this sprinkle woman, Shira 7, she is so full of ish, it's ridiculous. That woman is so full of ish, it's ridiculous. Oh, boy. Now, let's hear a little bit of what River had to say. I know she made some commentary on my last part, but we're not going to listen to too much of what she had to say because I had it on part 1. But let's hear let's hear her responses. We already let this sprinkle Shira 7 speak her nonsense. Now let's have River speak her how should I put this, logical sense. The nonsense versus the logical sense. All right, fair use.
Okay, so this woman, okay, there have been so many people in my DM from some of my A1 Day 1 supporters. Like, there have been more than a handful of people who have been asking me to react to this woman who they call Sprinkle. Okay, I don't know if that's like her catchphrase or something that she says. And it's so funny because through TikTok videos, I have been seeing a lot of people talking about sprinkle. I did not know it was attached to this woman.
Tired of meek and boring.
The life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe and achieve.
So a lot of people have sent me videos to react to. Just literally just sent me this woman's name and told me to look up stuff on TikTok and figure out who she was, and they want my opinion on this woman in general. I can't give a full opinion, okay, because I don't know this person personally. At particular conversation, this is a toxicity that leads to women having son husbands.
Mm-hmm.
It leads to women raising sons that grow up and are unable or incapable of leading their households. It leads to relationships of, mothers and sons where the son gets married and has a wife, and the wife and the mother can't get along because the mother is trying to replace the wife, and she feels inferior to the wife and doesn't like that, and will start to terrorize the son's mind and start to tell the son things about the wife to try to get in between their relationship. These are the things that lead to that.
Correct.
Because there's no way that you can tell these women that the only true love that they will ever find will come from their children. That is crazy.
You're damn right, it's crazy. Like I said, the unconditional love of a child is not the same as a conditional love of your spouse. It's not the same thing. Both should be valued. Both are important in their own rights, but one should never override the other. Men come and go, but family's going to be forever. That may be true, but guess what? Eventually your kids are going to grow old and go away too. So who are you going to have then? And like I said, the husband's job is not only the husband is not only supposed to provide and protect you, but at the same time, physically, sexually, and psychologically stimulate you. You're not going to get that from your kids. I don't care how old your kids are. They're not going to give you that kind of stimulation. So you're a single mother and you haven't had sex in a long time. What the hell are you going to do then? I'm getting sick just thinking about that shit. So what the hell are y'all going to do when y'all don't have a man? You're horny, you're sexually deprived. What you going to do then? Your kids, your sons are not going to do that for you now, are they? That would be disgusting. But anyways, fair use.
That's crazy.
It is.
If you as a woman are satisfied in your transactional relationship, then say that.
They should be honest about it.
It's so ironic to me that they're saying, get the money, focus on yourself, love your kids, don't worry about the men. And they always try to make it seem as though, they make it seem as though women are so, able or capable of doing many things. Women can be the man, they can play both roles. They could be the mama and the daddy. They could get the money and take care of the house. They can do this. And they make it seem as though women are the only beings capable of being multifaceted. But then they turn around and they act like men are completely emotionally incapable of loving them, of caring for them, of being nurturing, of giving them affection. Somehow they think that men it's impossible for a man to be able to do that. If your man can't do that, talk about your man.
That's a good point. Stop saying all men are like this. I mean, you don't hear me saying all women are the same, because I know damn well they're not the same. But why are women so quick to say all men are the same? Get men for their money. I'm not going to come up here and say, fellas, get women just for their cooches only. That's all that they're good for. No, I can't say one thing, though. 304s and females for the streets, get them for their cooch at your own discretion. But the good women of the world, no, value them for what they're worth, because they're worth more to you than these 304s ever will be. That's just my take on that. But fair use.
Say that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If your man can't hug you, love you, and the only love that you can get is from your children or from your child, that's on you, man. You decided to get into a transactional relationship. That does not speak for the plethora of men.
Absolutely.
And then when women, especially younger women who are growing and are trying to learn things and are trying to figure out how to relate to men, how to deal with relationships, when they hear this and they internalize it, they create these toxic households based off of the opinions of somebody speaking from their own experience, not from the men out there who are willing. Oh, you know, I'll massage my wife feet. As long as she give me peace, she can get anything from me. I'll love her, all this, all that. Like, there are men out there who are capable of doing more than just leading you, paying the bills, and making sure the lights is on, and going to work. I would even go out there to say that majority of men should not be limited to that. The same way women, advocate for, I do more than just cook and clean. I do more than just get my nails done. I still have to do this. I have to do this. I can do that. I can do these things. I can do what a man can do. I can do what a woman can do. I can do everything.
Life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe and achieve.
All right, fair use.
You're saying to these women, the truest love that they'll ever find is from their child. No.
No, that is far from the truth. And some people have this narrative that as long as a man is going to work, taking care of the bills, it should be all good. The relationship is going to last forever. Well, based on my understanding and what I'm hearing and seeing, just because you got a man that's doing everything right, that don't mean that the woman is going to stick around and be with him if she was never in love with him to begin with. That's the harsh reality. Some of y'all think, well, as long as I'm doing everything I got to do as a man, as long as I'm paying the bills, going to work, exercising, eating healthy, there is no reason for my wife to up and leave me, let alone lose interest in me. Well, the reality of the matter is this. You could do everything right. You could do everything. You could have your life in order. But if her mindset is not that of a traditional minded woman, she gonna leave you no matter what or lose interest no matter what. That's because she was not a wife when you first met her. Like the book says, you're not my wife because I found you. You're my wife before I find you. So if she didn't have a wife mindset before you found her, that's not going to change up when you make her your wife. And I'm tired of, I wish men would stop doing that. Stop marrying these females thinking that they're going to be this good person after they get a ring on their finger. Seriously. And same thing with y'all ladies, getting with having these men marry y'all thinking they going to change up. Relationships don't change people. People got to change for their goddamn selves. So that goes both ways. You could do everything. You could do everything right and still get done dirty. There's no getting around it, I'm afraid. So yes, it's more to it than that. So forget what you were told about. Just be the best version of yourself, no matter whether it's male or female. I mean, yes, you should do that, but don't put so much emphasis on that to where, yeah, if I do be the best version of myself, my marriage gonna last me. No, nothing is guaranteed to last you. Absolutely nothing. I hear stories of men who are doing good for themselves and they still get cheated on. Same thing with women getting cheated on. Imagine if a man married an average looking woman with an average body type and behind closed doors, he's smashing an Instagram model. Kind of like that, but in reverse. People getting married today because it's convenient. Like, I don't want to be single at 40 years old. I don't want to be single. I don't want to be out here chasing tail at 40 something years old, especially living at home with my mom or my aunties or whoever for female family members that I'm close to. Again, to avoid being a son husband, I guess some men today will just get married just because they don't want to be seen as some sort of a husband or replacement to their moms, some sort of a replacement husband to their moms. If that makes any sense. Sometimes people these days are getting married just because it's convenient. Like, I don't want to be a son husband to my own mama. I don't want to be 40 years old chasing tail, living at home with my mama, and she's the only woman in my life. So I'm going to marry somebody, even though she's less than what I want, but I'll take her anyway because I don't want to be single and by myself for the rest of my life. That's what you call getting married out of convenience, which is not a good thing. People should not do that, honestly, because you could be doing all the right things and you'll still get left in the dust. So no, you shouldn't be getting married just because it's convenient. I wanted to put that out there, but anyway, it's fair use.
Not true. But what is true is that when women have children, all of a sudden they are able to unlock the leash of their mind and the whole unconditional love thing. You see, when they have a partner, he's only good enough until. A lot of,
like Chris Rock once said, the only beings on this earth that are loved unconditional are women, children, and animals. Grown men are only loved under the condition that they can provide something. It's funny how I never knew what that meant up until I recently heard it some years later. I would say, as a man in my early to mid 20s, I had no idea. As a man in my back when I was in my early to mid 20s, I understood exactly what the hell that meant. But when I first heard that, I didn't know what that meant. So it's funny how you can look back on certain things and get an understanding of what the hell they're talking about. Yeah. And like I said, the conditional love of a spouse is not the same as unconditional love of your children. But anyway, it's fair use.
Women are waiting until he mess up, until he cheat, until he do this, until he do that. They're waiting for the breakup because they can't even themselves fathom being in a healthy, wholesome relationship for the long term. So they're waiting for the bottom to fall out. They're literally anticipating it. They generally can't wait till it happens because they're like, "Ooh, finally I can let the facade go. Finally, I can stop taking care of another person. Finally, I can stop having to be underneath the leadership of this person. I can do whatever I want to do. So, I can go back to the streets if I feel like it." If we're honest.
Yep,
but when women have children, all of a sudden they're
just looking for any excuse to lead a relationship. Yep, sounds about right.
They can understand that if somebody does something wrong, that there's forgiveness. Or all of a sudden they can understand that love, that connection, that balance of, oh, you just made a mistake. Okay. Oh, well, you just did this. And it's only because it comes from them. Women who are healthy, women who are whole, women who are emotionally filled on their own. The women who are not just looking for somebody to pay their way, pay their bills, take care of them, and do everything for them. The women who are emotionally stable and who genuinely want a strong connection, want to build a strong bond and show children love. Women who genuinely want to do that. They're not out here talking about, oh, well, you got to do this for me. You got to do that for me. And, oh, well,
Exactly. Because women like that are already fulfilled in their own right. They just need a man to add to their lives. They just need a man that's going to give them the things that they can't get from somebody else. The emotional support, the physical, the sexual, as well as the financial support. Women who, like she said, women who are already fulfilled in certain areas of their lives need a man to add to their lives. But the women that want a man to just come into their lives saying, oh, you got to do this for me. You got to have this. You got to live this kind of lifestyle. They're not fulfilled. A true independent woman does not need the validation of other people just to feel good about herself. And she damn sure don't need a man to make her feel good. Don't need a man to make her feel validated. She can validate her own self. In other words, she was happy before she met this guy. Now she's happier that she finally found him, or he found her, whatever the case may be. That's what you call being a true independent woman. Not this, I don't need a man for this, that, and the third, or all the purpose you serve is just to pay my bills and give me what I want and give me kids. No. Clearly, Shira 7 is not an independent woman that she claims she is. She needs her husband for validation. Because she doesn't seem very fulfilled, saying it's like she's on social media talking all this bullshit about, well, your kids are the only love that you need. The love of your kids is the only love that you need, not from that of a man. A man's job is just to give you money and this, that, and the third to make you feel happy.
That's because you were never really fulfilled to begin with, and you need your kids and your spouse to feel validated. Ain't that about some shit? But anyway, it's fair use.
No, I can't love you and my children. Oh, I got to give my children a plate first. My kids come first. They're not doing that.
No, they're not.
They understand the importance of the relationship between the mother and the father being correct before they can correctly love on their children, because they understand the display that they're giving their children, and that it's not what you tell children, it's what they're seeing. If they're seeing you as a mother disrespect men constantly, there's going to be a man who is going to accept disrespect from his women when he grows up, and there's going to be a girl who will constantly disrespect men because that's what she's seeing.
After all, parents are our first teachers, so whatever they see us doing, we're going to imitate it as we get older. So yeah.
Telling women that the only love that they are going to receive is ever going to be from their children is setting these children up for jobs from before they're even born.
Exactly. Like the young man in the previous video described. Y'all remember from part 1, this young man talked about that his mother had him doing things that he was not really mentally prepared for given his young age. Taking care of the house, talking to his older siblings like he's their disciplinary or something like that, and got his mama trying to give him unwanted attention. No, you can't put your sons in those kind of positions, especially at a young age. No, that's how son husbands are generally created. Yeah, it's a real mess. But anyways, fair use.
It's also adding to baby mama culture. It's telling women, oh, I've been sad lately. I don't feel loved. I don't feel this. I have childhood trauma. I have all these problems. I know what I'll do. I'll have a baby because she said that baby is going to love me. And I need love and I want love. So I won't even look.
Yeah, you want to have a kid in an unstable environment with no good man around, knowing you yourself are not ready to be a parent yourself. Neither you or that guy are ready to be parents. That is not the best time to have a child. Seriously. We have way too many kids in these unstable households. And all this, you strong, girl. You can raise a kid by yourself. What the hell kind of BS is that? I see more single moms out here than I do married moms out here. Or married or wives. I see more single mothers than I do wives. Yes, there are wives out there, but I'm sorry, but y'all married women are being overshadowed by these single mothers out there. And I'm pretty sure y'all seen it before. So yeah, it's a complete mess. Yeah. Anybody that wants to come up and talk to me? Yeah, the link is right here in the comments. Feel free to hit the link and come up here and talk about this. We're talking about son husband and well, in this case, son husband relationships. Anybody want to come up, feel free to do so. But anyways, fair use. Stoic said 100. Absolutely, 100% on that. Fair use.
Look at these men. I'll get with anybody who will impregnate me because I know that whatever seed comes out, that's what's going to give me what I've been longing for.
Yeah, that is crazy. You want to have a child because you don't want to be by yourself. Thinking that the love of a child is more important than the love of a spouse or a lover, as we said earlier. My God. This is some deep shit right here. I myself did not believe in son-husband relationships. I didn't know what the hell a son-husband was until I got into these YouTube spaces. I didn't know that even, maybe the term existed for decades, but now, thanks to the YouTube community, I'm being exposed to what it truly means. A son taking the place of a husband. The concept may be nothing new, but I guess back in the day, it wasn't as prevalent as it's been as of lately. You're basically taking your own kids, well, in this case, your sons, and trying to use them as substitute companions and substitute husbands. Putting in position that they're too young to completely understand.
having him act as the man that you could never get, thus turning him into the man that you know other women would never want to be with. It's mind-boggling. It's amazing what you can learn if you dig deep into life. Yeah. But anyways, fair use, fair use.
Crazy. How about you try to figure out what's wrong with you first? How about you heal your own traumas?
Correct.
How about you be happy all by yourself?
If you can't be happy by yourself, you'll never be happy with other people. Bottom line. Fair use.
How about we talk about that? How about you make sure that the relationship that you're in, it is equivalent to what the other person is in as well. If a man is wanting a transactional relationship and you are too, make sure y'all on the same page.
Absolutely.
If you want somebody that you can love and confide in, make sure that y'all on the same page.
Yep.
Make sure you with a man who see you. A lot of these women say these things. My opinion. This is just my opinion. A lot of these women say things because they're in a certain seat and maybe they're not 100% happy about the seat that they're in. And again, I'm not necessarily talking about this woman, for example, because I don't know her. I don't know her business. I don't know what she got going on. I don't know nothing. I know a couple of videos that I've seen. I know a video I reacted to before. That's what I know. Spring. That's what I know. But some of these women, they made certain decisions. And because they're able to buy things, and because they're able to go shopping, or because they're able to have stability that they maybe did not have as a child. Some of these women, they say that, you know, a man is not going to fulfill the void that you're looking for him to fill. But a lot of these women who want men for their money are filling the void that they had as children because they grew up in lack.
Now that's deep shit right there. That is deep right there, my girl. That is pretty deep. Let's hear that again. that is really, really deep. She said that if a man, the women who want men to feel some kind of void in their lives, she basically said that these women talk about they want a man to feel some sort of void in their lives, but because they feel so unfulfilled from the beginning, they want the man to give her the things that she didn't have when she was younger. I guess she didn't have a lot of money. She didn't get a lot of love, so she wants that from a man. But then again, she wants that man only for his wealth, status, and resources because she could never get that.
That they maybe did not have as a child. And because they're able to buy things, and because they're able to go shopping, or because they're able to have stability that they maybe did not have as a child.
Yeah.
Some of these women, they say that, you know, a man is not going to fulfill the void that you're looking for him to fill. But a lot of these.
Yeah. A man's not going to be able to fulfill that void. The unconditional love of a husband is just not going to get it. So get him for his resources because because you grew up in a life of not having such things. Yeah.
Women who want men for their money are filling the void that they had as children because they grew up in lack. They
didn't have anything growing up, so I want to use men for that stuff. Yep.
Grew up not having a lot of money. They grew up, you know, paycheck to paycheck living, and so they want somebody to fill that void and that secure.
Stower says a bottomless pit that cannot be satisfied. Yep, that makes sense to me. It cannot be satisfied. The things they didn't have when they were younger and single. Now they want to get that from whatever man that they can get it from after they get into a relationship with this guy. Yep, BS at its finest. Fair use.
Within them, so they get with the man who can pay all the bills, and that's all. They don't know the man's favorite color. They can't stand him. They can't stomach being intimate with him.
The idea of trying to have sex with him makes them want to throw up. Yep.
They don't like him. Every time he talks, it makes their skin crawl. But then you're telling women to not look for men who can fill voids. I'm going to be honest. Do I believe that the burden of trying to fix a woman should be on a man? No. Do I believe?
I've said time and time again, it is never a man's job to fix a broken woman. Remember that. As a man, it is not your job to fix a broken woman. If she can't fix her damn self, leave her alone, or at the very least, put in work and show you that she wants help to get better. Leave her the fuck alone. Because these would be the same chicks talking about, oh, these men can't control me. These men can't tell me what to do, yada, yada, yada. But yet they expect the man to come in there and try to fix them. They want to blame you for their bullshit. You want to blame men for your bullshit, even though it's like you want to blame men for your bullshit. The same men who refuse to come in and fix your happy ass and help you get what you need to be better. You can't do that if you're not gonna cooperate with a man. So no, I don't believe in fixing broken women, especially if they're not trying to cooperate with the same men that they want the help from. So don't ever try to fix a broken woman.
That there's men who can lead women and guide with women and show them who they truly are and who they could be. Absolutely. But these conversations are limiting the way that women will think about men. And then in turn, when these women get with the men, they already talking about what they not going to do. Oh, I'm not going to compromise. Oh, I'm not going to this. I'm not going to that. Oh, because, you're not supposed to be fix me. You're not supposed to change me. You're not supposed to this. They already
exactly. Again, they want to blame the same men. Talking about men are the way that they are. But yet, they're not going to cooperate with the men that they want to come in and fix them or help them. Like I said earlier, fair use.
Come with apprehension. That's my opinion. It's my opinion.
I understand perfectly, my girl.
Telling women that, they can find the love, or that their kids will love them, or, the kids will change them is promoting baby mama culture. Is going to keep women going out there and having children because they think that that's what's going to help them in life.
Yeah.
And telling women that men, are incapable of being nurturing and caring and loving is also crazy. These men be having children, and the same women who say that men aren't nurturing, when they see him hug his kids, they're shocked.
Really?
He hugged. I didn't even know he was affectionate like that.
He's affectionate, just not towards you, sweetie. Well, not you specifically, River, but I'm just saying, based on your example, the man is affectionate, just not towards that woman. Maybe she doesn't deserve it. I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't get that part of him, because all you do is that. Argue, complain, disrespect. He don't want to hug you.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, kids will love unconditionally. Kids will love you unconditionally. Yeah. And kids are loved unconditionally. So, of course, it's going to give more of his love and affection to the kids and not some nagging woman. He has no incentive to be loving towards her, because all she does is nag, and brag like a dusty old hag. So, yeah, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? And that's crazy when you got a man that's more affectionate towards the kids rather than his own girlfriend or wife or whatever. Cause why would he do that for some woman that's just gonna bother him all the time?
He can't stand you, actually. Same way you can't stand him and your skin crawl, his skin crawl too. Maybe he just don't want to break up the family. Maybe he just can't leave because he know that all you want is a paycheck.
And all he wants is a female companion. Yeah.
We got to be real. And I'm not surprised that women are going to love these messages, because it's also it's adding to the delusion. It's making them have that Disney, the fairy tale, the romantic comedy movie, the drama movie. It's adding all of that. The drama that these women love so dearly, it adds to that, and they adore it. Somebody telling me what I want to hear, whether it's the truth or not, whether I think it's reality or not, whether it's something that I'm going to attain or not. I just love it, because we're making these men beneath us, and we're limiting them to the only thing that they have that makes them valuable is whatever's in their pockets. Yes. These poor women.
Poor
lost.
In the words of Ursula, these poor unfortunate souls.
I'm confused. Gonna be lonely. Sad. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one.
Well, that's the video. And she had a lot to say on that. And I'm glad she did. But yeah, this is what happens. Don't listen to this damn sprinkle lady because she is so full of shit. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But like I said, the unconditional love of your children is not the same as the conditional love of a husband. It's a damn shame that we want to compare the two like that. But yeah, River made a good point. And that kind of tripped me out. She said that, oh, your husband is hugging the kids, but he's not hugging the wife. And she's shocked by it. I'm not shocked. If you're a nagging, disrespectful, belligerent woman, what is he supposed to do? I mean, kids are going to love you unconditionally, and kids are loved unconditionally. It's a shame when they're getting more love than you are. I mean, seriously, like Shira 7 just said, the love your kids are going to give you is way more important than the love of a husband. But I guess when we reverse that or whatever on the women, now it's like, why are you acting like this? Don't feel so good when the shoe's on the other foot now, is it, when you think about it? But yeah, a man can't, but we can't use our own kids as substitute companion. That's just nasty. That is just, like Stoic said, that is just incestual. We can't do that. That's not the proper way to raise our kids. It is just not the proper way to raise our children. No, it's just not going to work that way. Oh boy, it is just crazy. Okay, I have another video to put out there, but first let me put this message out there.
Like, comment, and subscribe, because it's just what the doctor prescribed.
All right, here's my next video. This one is called, shout out to Stack 44, 5 Ways Son Husbands Are Created. And look at that. He used a scene straight out of the movie, the 2001 movie Baby Boy. Yeah, which is the same movie I'm going to be using that to headline this, because let's face it, everybody. Baby Boy is a prime example of a son-husband type dynamic. You have Jody, played by Tyrese, and I think her name is Juanita, played by AJ Johnson. This mother-son duo, where you got Jody being overly protective of his mom to the point where it comes off like a son-husband type relationship. I mean, she gets into a whole new relationship with a whole new man, and her son is just overly jealous of this. Doesn't want his mama to leave him, but she wants him to leave. So it's not like she's trying to use him as some sort of substitute, but he's trying to use her as a substitute. It's very toxic. And this man got 2 kids of his own. And this man got 2 kids of his own by 2 different women. One of them being Yvette, played by the lovely Taraji P. Henson. Yeah. So you would think this guy would be willing to get his life in order and get away from his mama, but oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyway, let's get into this next video. All right. Fair use, fair use. And by the way, anybody want to come up? The link is in the description. Feel free to come up and chime in. Let's talk about the whole son-husband relationships. Fair use, fair use.
Like you. I should be like you, man. You a man? No, little nigga, you can never be like me. You don't need to be like me. But what you need is to stop sitting around here trying to blame everybody for your problem. You need to check yourself. You know what your problem is, baby boy?
You got shit all twisted. You got an Oedipus complex. You want your mama to be your woman, but this is my woman. Okay, Melvin. My woman.
Yeah, he said it right. You want his mama to be his woman, but that's his woman. Yeah.
Man, forget this shit. Cause I got heat for niggas like you.
Joey, that's enough.
Nigga, you need to move. I told you. Don't fuck with me, but you wanna fuck with a nigga, right? I try to be a good motherfucking nigga, but I can't be the little bitch ass niggas like you wanna fuck with me. You wanna fuck with a nigga, right?
Wow. You know what? Looking back at that scene 22 years later, it really hits home on how the world has come, when our world is, how far the world is falling apart with this whole son-husband stuff going on. So yeah, Baby Boy highlights it pretty good. He wants his woman, his mama, to be his woman, but Veg Rhymes' character Melvin is the man, is her man. And that scene still pisses me off to this day. I can look back on it now as a 39-year-old grown adult and think, wow, this is crazy. I mean, even as a 17 or 18-year-old when I first saw this movie, I knew something was weird about that dynamic, but now I'm looking at it on a deeper level. I'm looking at it on a much deeper level as a grown 30-year-old man, 30-plus-year-old man. Don't you think it's crazy? You look back on old movies of years past and see how they tie into how the world, what the world's come to years later. This is one of those movies. Yeah. Tyree's character obsessing over his mother dating a new man. Baby boy Jody obsessing over his mother dating a new man. Ain't that about some shit? That's And that ties into our topic: son-husband, husband-son relationship, son-husband relationships. Yeah. Let's continue.
But a nigga got 2 stripes on him and go to jail for life, motherfucker. That's what you want. I'm leaving. Fuck no, I'm leaving. I can't live. Yeah, that's right, nigga. You leave this motherfucker.
He said, "This is my house," like he the man of the household. Woo, boy. Don't make this woman choose between her. Seriously, dog. Don't make your mama choose between you and her new man. Why? So it says, seemed like he wanted to be the husband, but she didn't want him to be. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. If you've seen The Baby Boy before, still, I don't know if you've seen this film, but it came out in 2001. Classic movie. It seemed like he wanted to be the husband, but she didn't want him to be. Exactly. That's exactly what that looked like. And bro, don't make this woman choose between you and her new man. Seriously. Why?
You gonna choose this nigga over me? Your flesh and blood, your child.
You are not a baby anymore. You are not a child.
Shit. Okay, I'm not gonna play the whole video because the YouTube be on that bullshit. So let's fast forward this to a little bit. Okay, here we are. All right, here we go. Fair use.
Coming in with another video. 5 ways a son husband is created. Before I get started, I want to give shout out to all my new subscribers, all my red subscribers. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead, hit that subscription button in the corner of your screen. hit that notification bell as well, and you get all my videos sent straight to your phone or your device as soon as I put one up on YouTube. But let's get right to this video. 5 ways a son husband is created. I used a 2001 movie clip of Baby Boy starring Tyrese and Van Raines, and it basically showed the fight scene when, you know, basically Tyrese was fed up with Van Raines, you know, being with his mama. And, you know, at the end of the day, he just said, this is my woman, and I'm paraphrasing, y'all seen the clip. This is my woman, you need to grow up and get your own life, baby boy. And eventually y'all seen what happened. But to me, it's ways before you got to that point of how he was created to be a son husband, and it always comes from a single mom. Now, son husbands, that terminology, I first heard that from my boy Greg Adams. Shout out to Greg Adams. But I want to explain in how I feel how they are created. Number one.
Well, before he begins speaking, yeah, it's hard to believe that this concept of son husband been around before we knew what the hell it was. Baby Boy was a prime example of a so-called son husband. But yeah, we just started hearing about it 2 decades, maybe at least a decade or so later, thanks in part to Coach Greg Adams. Yeah. So the concept may be nothing new, but I guess to us, but I guess we're getting more in depth to it, so it kind of feels new. Yeah, kind of like that. But anyway, it's fair use.
First thing I feel like a son husband is created is because the single mother picks wrong. They pick the wrong man. They pick the wrong type of man to stick around, and knowing that he might not stick around. This is why I tell the young ladies on my channel, you need to marry before you care.
I think Kevin Samuels said that as well. Marry before you carry. Stop having these kids, these unstable situations and unstable households. This would definitely put an end to the single mother epidemic, but they always want to blame the men for everything. Well, the man stepped out. The man was this. The man was that. And usually in these kind of situations, it's both the man and the woman that are toxic. Seriously, I believe women and men should take responsibility for the choices that they make in a partner. Not just a man, not just a woman, both sides. But we don't see women taking responsibility. They want to say all men are dolls, all men are this. At least as men, we own up to the fact that we chose incorrectly and gain a better understanding of how females operate. And just understand that we got to go into this world with a whole different mindset as far as how to deal with our women. We own up to that shit by learning female nature to see it doesn't happen again, or try to mitigate the possibility of it happening again. But women will grow up thinking that all men are this, all men are that. So they keep on choosing the same kind of men, anticipating the worst because they don't expect much of anything good out of a man. It happens, believe it or not. It does happen. But anyway, it's fair use.
Just because it's accountability in the long run, and everybody needs accountability. But she should have picked right, and then she wouldn't been in a toxic situation, maybe a struggling situation all the way till he was grown, which brings me to number 2. The environment might not be as best as it should be, and usually when a kid grows up in a bad environment, especially if he's a boy, he feels like he's got to get his mama out the hood. A lot of times you see this in basketball, you see this in—
I was just about to say, you see that with a lot of these athletes, basketball players, football players, and maybe even some people in the music industry. Yeah, you do see that. The environment is not the best. A lot of these people come from the hood. A lot of these rappers, these singers, these athletes, they come out the hood. They were once about that life, but now they want their parents to be about that life. Yeah. So having kids in unstable environments and leaning on them to get you out of that when they're older is just not it's just not the best way to raise a child. Yes, I understand things happen, but when you have a solid family structure, no matter the environment, you can pull through. You got some fans that grew up in the hood, but they still pull it together and they get out of that situation. But when you got women raising kids alone as single mothers with no man around, and they trying to lean on their sons to get them out the hood when they're older, that could be a problem. You're setting up to be a son husband. Not the same when you already have a husband. It's not quite in the same light when you already have a good man by your side. If you're a single mom living in the hood and you got all these kids to take care of, you're going to be finding yourself leaning more on them when they're older. Like when he grows up, he's gonna be a famous rapper or a movie star or whatever. He's gonna get us out the hood instead of having the father of the household, a man there to take care of all that and relieve that burden from the kids. Yeah. Hashtag no man in sight. That's clever, Stoic. That's clever. And by the way, Stoic, if you want to come up, the link is in it. Anybody that wants to come up, actually, the link is right there in the chat. Feel free to come up. Feel free to hit this link, come up, and let's talk about this. I got plenty of time on my hands this morning. Feel free to hit that link and let's talk about this. But until then, fair use.
Football. A lot of these players that's real good, that's from the black community, they come from a bad environment in single mama homes, and the first thing they want to do is take care of their mama, which they should do, but at the same time they got that entitlement that they are the man of the house, and that makes them feel like they are the husband. And that's why Tyrese got a little bit too comfortable, if you've seen the movie, by telling her what to do with her life at some point. And that's what brings me to number 3. You can't be your kids' friends. You can't be friends with your kids, no matter.
I could have told you that. You should never try to be friends with your kids. We all know that by this point. Even those of us who don't have kids know that. Yeah, you can't be friends with your children. No.
And if you're a single mom, a single father, or whatever, you have to be really real about being a parent, so they know eventually your rules are, don't get too comfortable, because you have to be productive when you get older to leave the nest. So number 3 was, don't be friends with your kids. A lot of times when you get friends with kids, they think you're on the same level, and when they think you're on the same level, they will shit test you all the time, and then they will tell you what to do later down the line when they get older and mature and they understand what the world for what it is. All right, number 4. This one happens right in the beginning. Like a lot of times, women hold the kids hostage from the father, and they keep the kids away from their daddy. Not all women, but some women do this, and men.
Yeah, some women do that. They always want to keep the father out of the kids' lives for whatever reason. Now, granted, I understand that there are some bad fathers out there, and sometimes a mom wants to protect the children from the bad father. I get that, but that ain't the case all the time. Sometimes these moms are no better than again, like I said, usually with these old toxic ass relationships, the mom and dad are almost damn near the same. But I get it. There are some deadbeat, unsuitable fathers out there that have no business trying to have kids. That's why I tell anybody, you're not fit to be a parent. Don't have kids at all. Best to be single and by yourself until you're ready to get your life in order. But anyways, fair use.
They don't want peace. They don't want problems. And sometimes women kick the man out of a child's life before a man even get started in the child's life, because they be like, I don't want your new girlfriend around my child, stuff like that. So they cling to the mother even more when the mother make a rift out of nothing, or the man just walk away from the relationship. At the end of the day, when a woman get abandoned or force her abandonment from a man, it makes the son cling to the mother more. And then that's when they get that bond that he don't never want to let go of mom. So that what starts the mama boy as well. So
yeah, so you're a single mother, and keeping the children or child away from the father can also similar to be a son husband. Why? Because they gotta lean more on you and less on the father, if on the father at all. No masculine energy to go around whatsoever. Again, a total detriment to their well-being. It's not supposed to be that way, but sometimes it is what it is. But anyways, oh boy, just got out of bed, so please forgive me. Fair use.
That can't create the son husband or the mama boy. That's my number 4.
Mama's boy.
Number 5, last but not least, she does not put deadlines in a plan in the boy's life. It takes a man to raise a man, and a lot of times.
Wait, say that again.
She does not put deadlines in a plan in the boy's life.
Oh, she doesn't put deadlines or plans on in the boy's life. In other words, she has no real plans for him from when he's older. She doesn't prepare him for much of anything when he's older. Well, thankfully, my mom prepared me for a lot of shit. So, hey, I learned how to improvise. I learned how to do this, that, and the third. So, yeah. Sometimes these single moms don't prepare their kids for much of anything. They expect them to just have the common sense to just learn how things work. Just learn by living. Well, unfortunately, some things need to be taught to us.
It takes a man to raise a man. And a lot of times women got to realize, I have to let him go. You know, I have to let my son go. I have to let him know at 18, you either going to go to college, you're going to go to the military, you're going to work at least a year and save up your money. And eventually at 19, you're going to get out of my house if you're not going to go to college, or you're going to go to the military. Because a lot of times women...
Yeah. And for the record, I joined the military much later. I joined the military out of college rather than while I was in college. So, yeah. Either go to college, get a trade, or go to the military. Your choice. That's how you have a plan for your kids. But a lot of these single mothers, they don't have them kind of plans. I sort of had a plan that was just to go to college and get me a job. That's what me and my mother agreed on, because a lot of people in my family, males and females alike, went to college and got them degrees. The only question is now whether or not they got the job in the field that they wanted. Well, that varies from family member to family member, but that was always been our plan. Get that education. That was the plan, and just go from there. So yeah, sometimes these single moms don't have a plan for their kids. And like the man said, either go to college, go to school, get a trade, or go to the military. And kind of ties back to that video I saw that I showed y'all on part 1, where that stepdaddy was arguing with his stepson about getting on his own, telling his 29-year-old stepson to get out and get on his own. And mama like, no, he gonna stay with me for as long as he wants to. See, that woman had no plan for her 29-year-old son. Just let him do whatever the hell he want to do, claiming that that's her son. He can stay for as long as he wants to and do whatever he wants to do. But the stepdaddy got to stay there and pay the bills nonetheless. That's bullshit. So that's kind of what this man is saying. If you don't have a plan for your child when they're older, you're setting them up to be a son husband. Kind of like what you saw in that video. That woman had no plan for her 29-year-old son prior to, post high school, even post college. There's no actual context given on that, but given the situation, I think we can safely say that she had no plan for him. I think we can safely say she had no immediate plan for him, seeing as how she's content with him staying in her house until he's damn near 30 years old. Hell, he was damn near 30 years old at the time that video was made. He was 29 at the time this happened. He's probably 30 right now, but that's how old he was when this happened. So yeah, you don't have a plan for your kids. That could be a problem. I set up for a son husband. Fair use.
Should always raise their kids to not need them once they turn a certain age. Because a lot of times women get caught up into all this dating and trying to find a partner as a single mom, and they go on for a year and they forgot to raise their son like they should raise them. Then he's clinging on the mama to 25, 26. So a lot of times mom needs to just, chill out with the dating, get some companionship, and focus on raising a responsible young man. So when that deadline hit, 18, 19, he's off to college or the military. He's doing something with her life and she can live her life. Unfortunately, this is the truth for a lot of single moms. A lot of men don't really marry single moms until after their kids are grown. I don't know what the statistics is, but I know statistics are a little bit higher than normal, but a lot of women get married after their kids are 18. I know that was a little tangent, but that was my 5. To go over the 5 one more time. Number 1 is she picked the wrong partner, so she struggles in the end. Number 2, environment is a key. A boy might feel like he got to get her mom out the hood. Nothing wrong with that. Number 3, he can't be his mama's friend. She got to make sure that she shows that she's the parent, he's the child. Number 4, she must try to keep the daddy around. If the daddy wants to stay around, don't push the daddy away, because like I say, men don't want drama. At the end of the day, some men would just pay the child support and keep it moving if you want to always be drama if you're a lady. Then number 5, last but not least, she must put a deadline and have a plan in place for his life and let him know what it really is, because when you turn 18, you're grown You need to get out of school, go to military, go to college, and have a plan for yourself. But that was my 5. Tell me what you think. Put that in the comment section. I always want you guys to stack attack your life. I want you to stack up your life. I want you guys to have a plan, purpose, program. Remember, in 2021, it's you versus you. It's not you versus anybody else. And if you was a single man growing up, if you was raised by a single mom, make sure you work on your masculinity to grow as a man. Because at the end of the day, we need more men out here. Just like my boy GMB say, man first. But I'm going to holler at you guys on the next video. Peace.
Yep.
The life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe and achieve.
And that's the video right there, ladies and gentlemen. And he had a lot to say. That's just how the husband-son things get started. And the one that really stood out to me was he talked about you have no plan. Because I've noticed that sometimes too, a lot of these parents don't have no immediate plan for their kids. Again, like I said earlier, if you saw part 1 with that video with that stepdaddy arguing with the 29-year-old stepson, that's a clear indication that mom had no plan for her now 29-year-old son. So he's basically leaning on her for support and being totally disobedient to the stepfather. And this is why I recommend men don't become stepfather, because stuff like this can happen. Believe that. You trying to hold a family together, but the mom want to be all belligerent and disrespectful, undermining your own authority. No. What self-respecting man wants to put himself in that position? Why would you want to put yourself in that position? So that's why I don't support the whole stepdaddy thing as well. Sometimes you let these single moms just struggle on their own instead of trying to play Captain Saver through, Saver, what? 304. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, baby, I said it. Yeah, sometimes you gotta let people struggle on their own so they can figure shit out for themselves. Yeah, that's just the way it needs to be. All right, let me try my next one. Okay, here's another video. I want y'all to let me know what you think about this video. Okay, here we go. Where is it? All right, fair use.
Number 1, I guess you could say unhealthy substitute. And I'm going to repeat some of the things that I've.
My bad. I was on mute the whole time. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Fair use.
Number 1, I guess you could say unhealthy substitute. And I'm going to repeat some of the things that I've said in the other video. Is when women don't have a man, what they tend to do is they tend to turn their sons into husbands. Now, the reason they do this is obvious. They long for someone to do things for them. They want the benefits of a man. This is why a lot of women don't even feel the need to be in relationships. Why? Because they got their son. They got their son to fulfill their husband needs. Now, I'm not talking about minors, so everybody calm down. I'm talking about adult sons.
And that's a good point. Yeah. They see no need to get in. They see no need to try to get into relationships with other people because they have their kids to basically lean on. As I said earlier, your kids are just that. Your kids. There should not be, substitute companions. They really should not be treated in that manner. Children are not substitute companions. They are just that. They are just that. Your kids and your kids only. They're not to be treated as your companions. So it's amazing how some parents would treat their kids as such. It's just totally crazy.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Shout out to Dr. Claw, Mad Music Producer. You're absolutely right. Children are not friends to parents. You're absolutely right. Shout out to you, Dr. Claw, Mad Music Producer. I like the Inspector Gadget character, Dr. Claw. Nice. Shout out to you. Nice logo, by the way. Like you said, children are not friends to parents. Absolutely. They are not your friends. Children are not friends to parents. They're not supposed to be. They're just that, your children. So it's amazing how they would try to treat them as such, as a substitute parent. And like I said, anybody that wants to come up, anybody that wants to come up, the link is right here in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Feel free to come up here and chop it up with your boy if you feel like it. That includes you, Mr. Claw, whatever you want to call yourself. Okay, that includes you. You want to chop it up with me? Go right ahead and do so. Yeah. Okay, I think I had one more video to show. Well, it seems like nobody's coming up here right now. So what I'm going to do right now is take a brief stream break, and I'll be back shortly.
Hustler in Muscular. Fight on.
Okay, I'm back. My bad, y'all. I had some technical difficulties. Had to exit out and come back in because this goddamn thing didn't want to scroll. But I finally got it working. Yeah, I got it working again. Thank goodness. Oof, boy. Yep, I'm back. I'm back. Shout out to everybody that was willing to tune in to my show this morning. I know this is early in the morning, but I want to say salute to everybody that was ready and willing to tune into my early morning show. And thanks to a change in my schedule, I may be able to do these shows in a more timely manner compared to what I've been doing. I may be doing them maybe sometime in the middle of the day before I go to work. So, hey, my schedule changes up. So that's why I have to constantly switch up how I do my shows. So, yeah, I mean, y'all got jobs too, so y'all can understand where I'm coming from with this. But yeah, I was having some difficulties during my little stream break. So I had to exit out and come back in, just so y'all know. But yeah, I finally got this thing working again. But yeah, these old son husband and son husband relationships, they're just not the way to go. As I was saying earlier, this is just not the way to do it. Your kids, and kind of like this YouTuber just said, shout out to this guy, Dr. Claw Mad Music Producer. That's a fancy name. Yeah. He said children are not friends to the parents. Exactly. Children are not friends to your parents. Your kids are just that. I don't give us a son or the daughter. Your kids are just that. Your kids. Because the last thing you need for you to do is your kids to see you, a grown adult that's supposed to be the parent, on the same level as a child. I mean, it's one thing for a kid to see another grown person outside the family. So just a next door neighbor, kind of on the same level, but understand that you are the adult. That's the child. They have to abide by your rules and standards no matter what. That's how it is with my godchildren. Yes, I'm not their father, but I still have some kind of authority and power over them. The father's not around. I have to be there to look after them, make sure that they don't get into any kind of trouble. But I consider them my buddies nonetheless. I consider my godson and my goddaughter my little buddies, the one they can turn to when their father's not around, even though they don't see too much of me. Yeah. So yeah, you can't look at kids and adults on the same level, especially when it comes to parenting child relationships. They're not on the same page like that. But yeah, once again, if anybody wants to come up and chop it up with me this morning, the link is right there in the description below. Feel free to hit that link and come up and chop it up with me so we can continue this conversation. Now I got one more video to show you, and then, well, actually it's two more. One long video and another short video to show everybody before I call it a day, because seeing as how nobody's coming up. But hey, it is what it is. I still want to put on a good show and educate the public. That's what this is about, educating the public. Okay, let me get this next video set up.
The life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe and achieve.
All right, here we go. Shout out to Sandman 2. This one is called The Son Husband Simp. Let's hear what he has to say. Okay. Excuse me. Fair use, fair use.
That's what he has to say. Hi, Sandman. What up? Hi everyone, Samian here. This video was brought to you by a donation from Mr. Anonymous, and here's what he has to say. Hi Samian, when I was a baby, I was adopted by an older couple. This is called a hillbilly retirement plan. Older people in the South who've saved nothing for retirement will typically adopt a kid of sufficient age, so the kid can go to work and provide money for the household as the people reach retirement age. They also...
What? So an old couple adopts a kid of a certain age, so when he grows up and makes money, they can live off of him? Is that what you're basically saying? Damn, that sucks. Honestly, that's just bullshit in my eyes, but okay. It is what, oh my God. Let's see what else he has to say.
Get money and food stamps from the government for adoption. This dead end was supposed to be my fate. Unbeknownst to them, I was too much of a natural tactical thinker for this to ever work. My dad passed away when I was 6. My mom and myself had to survive on government assistance. I excelled in school as I saw this as my only avenue of escape from this black hole. When I was older, my mother told me I was adopted. How my birth mother had tried to drown me while I was a baby. Whether this is true or not, I can't say. Or whether she was afraid of my birth mother showing up and taking away her support mechanism. I worked my butt off paying for and eventually graduating college with a well-paying STEM degree.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you did.
The entire time my mother kept trying to get me to drop out of college to go to work for a minimum wage job at the aluminum factory. She wasn't very bright. 2 weeks after the entire time.
Okay, shout out to Tools the Don. He said that's okay. And he said that's okay and legal. What's okay and legal? Be more specific. What you mean okay and legal? All right. What you mean, Tool the Don? That's okay and legal to adopt for old folks to adopt kids of a certain age, hope that they'll grow up and then they can live off of said kids. Is that what you're talking about? My, that's crazy. But let's see what else they have to say. Shout out to you, Tools and Dons. He said bingo, yeah. So I guess he was explaining how this elderly couple adopted a child of a certain age, hoping that when that kid grows up, he'll make money so the couple can live off of him and take care of them and keep the biological parents out of it. Yeah. Oh boy. His father passed away when he was real young, so he'd have a manly figure around. So there's that. Let's see what else he has to say. Fair use.
My mother kept trying to get me to drop out of college to go to work for a minimum.
Hold on.
From this black hole. When I was older, my mother told me I was adopted. How my birth mother had tried to drown me while I was a baby.
Wow.
Whether this is true or not, I can't say. Or whether she was afraid of my birth mother showing up and taking away her support mechanism.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing about these old adoption agencies. If you work for an adoption agency, you better be careful who you give these kids to, because sometimes these couples will use these kids to any ends meet. They will even lie to like the man just said, lie to these kids about what the biological parents did just to keep the parents out of the picture. They do that sometimes. I know I thought about adopting a child at one point in time since I ain't got kids of my own, but as of lately, I'm just going to accept I'm just going to value the fact that I'm childless or whatever and don't have kids of my own, because sometimes that's the best thing for some people. That way they can focus on themselves and do what they need to do to get their lives in order without the distraction of kids. Because sometimes these adoption agencies are not all that and are not as legit as you may think they are. And Tools and Dons, you want to come up and talk about this? The link is right here. Link is right there in the description. Hit the link and let's chop it up about this husband-son stuff. Okay, let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
I worked my butt off paying for and eventually graduating college with a well-paying STEM degree. The entire time my mother kept trying to get me to drop out of college to go to work for a minimum wage job.
Drop out of college?
The aluminum factory. She wasn't very bright. 2 weeks after graduation, I got a letter from my birth mother telling me how I could get in contact with her if I wanted. Someone in my family must have gotten in touch with her. I had never heard anything from her my entire life. Now that I graduated and would be making nice money, suddenly she wants to get in touch.
Wow, ain't that some shit? And this is the thing that's kind of iffy. You put your kids up for adoption. Fast forward 2 decades later, when the kids are all grown up and making something of themselves, now you want to reach out to them. What does that tell you right there? That something is iffy about that situation. Now, granted, I understand that there are some parents out there who have to give their kids up for adoption because they can't take care of them financially. And some of them even spend years trying to reach out to their children, trying to find their children so the kids can actually see who their biological parents is and get some kind of closure on why everything went down the way it did. I've heard stories about that kind of stuff happening. And some kids come to realize that they're better off with the parents that they have because their biological parents couldn't give them the lives that their adopted parents are giving them. So they're better off with the family that they're with. And that's why I tell anybody, stop having kids in these bad situations and stop having kids when you know you're not ready for such a responsibility. Because that's what you may end up having to do. Put them up for adoption, and then you got to spend years of your life wondering what could have happened if you had to just have the child in a more stable environment and prepared yourself mentally for what comes to raising a child. So I urge anybody to not put themselves in them kind of situations, but it is what it is. Anyways, fair use.
Convenient timing. I told my adopted mother this and it really freaked her out.
Wow.
I looked up my birth mother on the internet. She was a complete train wreck. I debated with myself about what to do. What would Sun Tzu do? I had already spent my entire life dealing with one parasitic female. I did need another glomming over me. It was hard, but I decided the best course of action was not to contact her. A few years after graduation, my now elderly adoptive mother passed away. She only had $6,000 to her name, and I hid
$6,000. Damn. I could see 60,000, but 6,000? Shit. Why? But okay.
This knowing that relatives would try and take it and leave me stuck with the funeral bill. She left everything to me and $100 to a couple of family members. I took a couple photo albums and let the relatives take what they wanted from her apartments. They swept in like vultures. I took pictures of everything they took because I was expecting shadiness. After the funeral, I was 20 feet from the grave when one of my female relatives said in a spiteful way, "Aren't you supposed to give me $100?
Damn, who says that after someone just passed away? Seriously.
Angry, I said, "I've given you thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and I have pictures to prove all of it. If you want to get a lawyer and sue me for $100, good luck."
Sue somebody for $100. 1,000? Maybe, but 100? What the fuck? Some people, I tell you.
I'm now retired early and never saw any of them ever again. It's popular nowadays to claim victimhood, but if we choose a life for a reason, I have to look back on this as a really challenging tactical obstacle course. Well, Mr. Anonymous, thanks for the sad story you sent me on Mother's Day of being let down by your biological mother, only to be adopted to potentially get used as a son husband working in the aluminum smelters. Do you know why your stepmother told you that you were adopted? It was probably to badmouth your biological mother the way that mothers typically badmouth a man's biological father, so that they favor their mother over him.
Exactly. That's some of what they do. They tell their sons, "Oh, your daddy wasn't ish. Your daddy wasn't about shit. He was this, that, and the third. He was a fuck up." All that kind of stuff just to keep the father out of the house, away from the child. And I guess sometimes adopted parents are no better, bad mouthing the biological parents just to keep the adopted kids away from said parents. Now, I get it, in some cases they may be protecting them from something, but until we can understand what that is, it's not our place to make any of these assumptions. Yeah. And Tua said, holy shit, she's cold for that. $100 at the funeral. Exactly. Why would you ask for $100 at the damn funeral? And suing somebody for $100, that's just crazy. 1,000 I can understand, but 100? Jesus. And didn't this guy just take some of his adopted mama's stuff? And the man got pictures to prove that the stuff was taken or whatever, or sold or whatever the heck. And here you are still asking for money? Seriously? Wow. Greedy people in this world, but fair use.
She dumped a ton of emotional trauma onto you so that you would bond with her, your stepmama. She was right to do so because after you graduated, your biological mother got in contact with you. They're like those women that date guys briefly in their early 20s. break their hearts, and then wait to see if they make it big, and suddenly they pop back into their life.
Exactly. And that happens more often than people think. It hasn't happened to me personally, but I know people it has happened to. So I'm not going to act like it doesn't happen. I don't ignore shit just because it hasn't happened to me yet. Because when I hear stories about how this stuff happens and know some people that it's happened to, I have to accept the fact that it's possible. And I got to watch out for them. Watch out for the red flags. But anyways, fair use.
Out of nowhere. But they planted the seeds of a relationship in the guy's formative years. In your case, two vultures with vajayjays fighting over you. Of course, it freaked out your stepmom when the biological one contacted you. She'd invested 20 years of her post-war life raising you. She feared losing her relationship with you. I'll discuss more in a moment, but let me first tell everyone about today's sponsor, the Red Pill Ring. The Freemasons have their own...
Okay, I usually don't delve into these ads, but shit. It is what it is.
The life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game, hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef, I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat, best believe and achieve.
Two mothers, one adoptive and the other biological, fighting for the prize of turning their boy into a son-husband Clown World show. Mr. Anonymous, it sounds like you still had a relationship with your stepmom until the end, which means that even though she wasn't getting financial support from you and the government was still paying her away, at least she had someone to use as an emotional tampon and help her towards the end of her life. Far too often we talk about how women take advantage of husbands and partners in relationships, but we never talk about how mothers can be just as bad. I wouldn't be surprised if your stepmom took pride in your academic and career accomplishments and would go around bragging to others about how great of a son she raised and probably taking credit for your success too. You were mostly smart enough not to contact your biological mother, but I would have and asked if there were any siblings. Then again, you probably could have seen that through her social media posts.
Yeah, not only that, you need to know some of your little medical history. Are you allergic to anything? Do you have a history of any kind of illnesses from other members of the family? Stuff like that you may need to know as you grow up. Stuff like that you may need to know. I learned that I'm allergic to mushrooms, for example, at a young age, so I don't eat any kind of foods with mushrooms in it or been exposed to mushrooms. Or at the very least, I pick them out first before I eat them, yeah. So yeah, you need to learn stuff like that. So maybe contacting her for that may be helpful, but hey, we'll let him decide his own discretion if he's going to do that. But yeah, it is important for kids who are adopted to learn their family history overall. But anyways, fair use.
The idea of parents using their kids for financial gain is nothing new. Why do you think that farm families had children? Because the moment they did, they would have had a labor force that pretty much works free. I knew a woman that worked every day with only 1 day off a month. A friend of mine was dating her. Her brother also worked too much so that he could support their parents. Both parents being unemployed on government assistance.
Wow.
While their young offspring in their early 20s worked hard at dead-end jobs because they didn't have a higher education. I believe that they were from somewhere around Lebanon or Palestine. And that's just how things were done in their culture. The hillbilly retirement plan is pretty much tradition at this point. As for that girl in her culture...
That's what they call it, the hillbilly retirement plan. Wow. Using your kids to work on a farm so you can live off of them when they become to work. Using your kids to work so you can live off of them when they're older. Ain't that something? But yeah, that happens more often than you think it does. But fair use.
The young women would pretty much work their butts off for their parents, and once they had children of their own, they would do the same for them. That's certainly one way to promote fertility. The faster you reproduce, the faster you retire and start the evil cycle all over again.
And to me, that is a horrible reason to want children. You should want children because you want to extend your legacy. You should want children because you want to have someone you can pass your knowledge on to and be proud of them when they grow up. It's not just about using your kids as some sort of makeshift labor force or something like that. They can work for you and take care of you when you're old. No, that's not the purpose of having kids. I believe that if you're going to have kids for all the wrong reasons, don't have kids at all. Best to be single and childless for the rest of your life. Not only that, if you're not mentally prepared to take care of kids, again, don't have kids. I've heard people say all it takes is common sense to raise kids. All it takes is just having an intelligent brain to raise a child. I don't believe in that 100%. Common sense may play a role in it, but it takes more than that. And as we all know, common sense ain't so common anymore. It takes a lot of work to raise a kid, especially raising a child by your goddamn self. It takes a lot of work to do that. It's easier when it's two parents doing it, but it's harder when it's one parent doing it. So raising kids is not as easy as people like to let on. I never believed in that for a second. I got a buddy of mine that raised two kids, both born out of wedlock to two different women. It was tough for him, but he had help from family. He had help from friends, including myself. So we had to make it easy for him. You can't do that kind of shit all by yourself. It just can't be done. But anyways, fair use.
Her parents, much like your stepmom, weren't thinking that investing in a practical education is much better in the longer term than just running out and getting a job straight out of high school. I don't blame people for being so small-minded. Some people are just so simple. They go on their instincts. I'm glad you didn't screw over your adoptive mother. In a way, that hillbilly retirement plan is one way to prevent young guys from becoming orphans. Mr. Anonymous, would you really been better off being raised in an orphanage or with your elderly step-parents? Today, you see a lot of people just pass their kids off to their parents or the kids' grandparents. Is that really all that different? As for
when you think about it, no, it's not.
The concept of the son husband, it's despicable that women use their sons as a substitute once their husband passes away.
Yeah, and that does happen too. Even if the husband passes away in some unfortunate accident, and now her son or sons are the closest thing to a man that she had, closest thing to some male companionship that she has. And now they're gonna and that's when the son husband thing begins. Yep. So fair use.
Specifically as that emotional tampon. Many see having a son as an investment. If you don't believe me, then just look at how women in China all want a son because they don't have old age security in that country. A son is more valuable than a daughter. All of this for our genes to continue to live on and so that our genetic line doesn't go extinct. You probably won't have any children of your own, but it doesn't matter because you'll be forgotten in 3 generations anyway. Which is
you'll be forgotten 3 generations anyway. Wow, that's cold. But anyways,
the real tragedy of the human race, that all your value and insight will not live on. Maybe we're now close to singularity and our consciousness will be scanned into a machine in the next 20 or 30 years. I don't know. But increasingly, I see cloning as a way to ensure that you won't be forgotten. If you had
cloning, oh boy, I heard about that kind of stuff going on in these Asian countries, cloning, so they can continuously, add to the population in these Asian countries. I've heard about that kind of stuff happening, but I just think it's wild. Instead of just having kids in a conventional sense, they want to clone or give women. I read an article. I heard a story about a couple months ago about a machine that allows women to get pregnant without actual sexual intercourse happening. That way they can give birth to children. So they're really stern about this whole continuing the next generation and increasing the population. Oh boy.
Today, then the odds are pretty good that the cow you ate was a clone. I honestly think that's the way the human race is going. It will eventually accept this as a form of genetic immortality and our clones won't forget us. I know it sounds kind of selfish and creepy, but if I could somehow take my DNA and pay some company to implant DNA into a bunch of empty eggs and then take those eggs to a different company without telling them where they came from and have a surrogate deliver them, then I get my clones. I'm predicting that at some point this is going to be very popular. Right now, celebrities are cloning their dogs and it's becoming socially acceptable.
Cloning their dogs? Why the fuck would you want to clone your dog? How many dogs do you want? Sheesh. Oh man, who clones their pets? It's bad enough cloning humans, but now you want to clone animals too? For what? That's just more pets for you to have to clean up after. So who wants to do that? I'm just saying. Fair use.
How long before they start cloning themselves and cutting a traditional birth mother completely out of the equation? But I'm going way.
Clone myself and take my birth mother out of the equation. Isn't having sex with your clone technically the same thing as incest? If I clone myself and create a female version of myself and make that clone a female version of me, isn't that damn near the same as getting it in with my own sister? I don't know. What do y'all think? Is cloning yourself into is making a female clone of yourself and getting it in with that clone in the same light as incest? I don't know. It's all just
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Off topic. Can you tell that I'm somewhat excited by the prospect? As for you, Mr. Anonymous, the real tragedy is that a lot of kids that grew up like you have to watch both of their elderly parents pass away while they're in their early to mid-20s. That's quite a shock to many, and some find alcohol and drugs as a relief for all the pain. But as I said, still better than an orphanage. Those things used to be a big thing, and I wonder why, when back in the past, extended families used to be a lot larger. Did uncles and aunts not want to take care of their nieces and nephews? Or that they too passed away from some illness like the kids' parents? My grandmother was an orphan at the age of 8, and she married in her mid-teens to my grandfather, who was a widower, and already had 3 kids and was established. People died early back then and had to figure out new ways to form families. Today, people divorce and they still can't do as well as people did 100 to 200 years ago. What does that tell you about today's culture? Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks again to Mr. Anonymous for the...
Wow. Well, that's the video right there. That's some crazy stuff. That is some crazy stuff. So I guess in some culture, they're so adamant about extending the population and passing on their legacy that they'll go through any lengths just to, you know, extend said population. Cloning, marrying somebody out of convenience, kind of like what goes on in out here in this country. Getting married just because it's convenient and because you want to have some sort of some level of companionship. Yeah. To me, that's just crazy. It's bad enough getting married to somebody just because you want a companion, not out of love, and getting married because it's convenient, because you don't want to be by yourself and single for the rest of your life. But hell, you want to have kids by this person, and then you want to use your kids as some sort of a retirement plan so they can work and take care of you for the rest of your life instead of just passing on your knowledge and legacy so they can grow up and be prospering adults just like you were. Hopefully you were. Man. And I thought our culture had a problem with this. I mean, kids are being born here in our culture, but they're always born to single parent households, and it's crazy. Very rarely do you see a married couple with some kids. Very, very, very rarely. I mean, I see them. I speculate that they're married because they're together, but for the most part, I see single mothers. That's why I give props to the few women out here, the few women and men who are at least married to somebody and are happily married to that person. Yeah. Because nowadays you'd be hard pressed to find that. These days you'd be hard pressed to find that. And again, anybody wants to come up, I'm gonna shut the stream down in a couple of minutes, but I'm still gonna give people the opportunity to come up and chop it up with me about this topic, the whole son husband thing. Here's the link for anybody that wants to come up and chop it up with me. I'm gonna shut the stream down in maybe the next couple of minutes or so. If nobody wants to come up, or somebody wants to come up, I can extend it to the 3-hour marker. Yeah, it's early in the morning. I got to get ready for work, so I don't have all day, but I'll try to make time for those glorious people who at least chimed in to my show. And Stoic, if you're still back there, you can still come up here and chop it up with me. Sweet Melanie, I'm not sure if you're still back there because you say you drive in the morning. Okay, I understand that. And by the way, did you put your... I don't think you did. I told you, Melanie, put your new channel in my link so people can actually subscribe to it. I'm not sure if you did. I don't think you did that yet, but okay. It is what it is. I put it on my other... I put your new channel on part 1. No, I'm sorry. It was the old channel on part 1 of this show. So yeah, help Sweet Melanie grow her new channel. I mean, she and her friend Killer Swag are my inspiration for this kind of stuff. So it at least seems fair that I support them. But anyway, anybody want to come up here and chop it up? The link is right there in the description. Now, before I shut this stream down, I have one more video to critique. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Here it is. All right, for those of y'all listening back there, well, before I do that, let me put this message out here real quick.
Like, comment, and subscribe, because it's just what the doctor prescribed.
And we're back. Now here's my next video. Anybody listening, let me know in the comments or on the panel what you think of this. Fair use, fair use.
The difference between son husbands and husband sons. And, I said son husbands are the biological offspring of women. And they're often forced to play an emotional role in women's lives that usually is reserved for boyfriends and husbands.
Like my outfit? Oh, why? It's a bathing suit. Oh, really? It's a bathing suit. Then why are you wearing high shoes, huh? They're boots.
But because they're the only males present and they're under the control of, their mothers, they end up playing roles that they really shouldn't be, roles that are inappropriate. And even though most often it's not sexual, there are instances where it can cross into a sexual line. But at the end of the day, a son husband is basically a biological son who is fulfilling emotional roles for his mother that should be reserved for adult boyfriends, significant others, and husbands.
And that's absolutely correct. As I said earlier, the son husband is basically the son playing the role of a husband or a substitute mate for his mama. It's bullshit in my eyes. And y'all saw Tia Mowry showing off that old provocative outfit in front of her sons. Kind of a crawl back to that other story, that other video I saw on part 1, where this boy was talking about how his mother would get her hair done or buy a new outfit or whatever, and then try to get the attention of her son just to show it off in front of her. That is inappropriate right there. As if that outfit wasn't inappropriate enough, she's doing it in front of her own kids. Unfucking believable. It's one thing to want opinions from a child to say, oh, how do I look in this outfit? You think your dad would like it? Something like that. You think my date would like it? Something like that. But when you go above and beyond, showing off in front of your kids like Tia Mowry just did in front of her son, that's inappropriate. And while it may not cross over into sexual territory, sometimes it can be hinted at when the son is the closest thing to a man that the mom has. And that's something I worry about in kind of situations. If you're a single mother with no boyfriend, no husband, and your son or sons are the closest thing to some companionship that you have, that's an automatic setup to be a son husband. That's the automatic setup right there. Yeah. It's just totally insane. Totally insane.
God damn it. You can't make this shit up.
You really can't, honestly. You really can't. Now let's watch that video one more time because damn, that was just something else. Yeah.
I talked about the difference between son husbands and husband sons. And, I said son husbands are the biological offspring of women. And they're often forced to play an emotional role in women's lives that usually is reserved for boyfriends and husbands.
Like my outfit? Oh, why? It's a bathing suit. Oh, really? It's a bathing suit. Then why are you wearing high shoes, huh? They're boots.
But because they're the only males present and they're under the control, I talked about the difference between son husbands and husband sons. And, I said son husbands are the biological offspring of women. And they're often forced to play an emotional role in women's lives that usually is reserved for boyfriends and husbands.
Like my outfit? Oh, why? It's a bathing suit. Oh, really? It's a bathing suit. Then why are you wearing high shoes, huh? They're boots.
But because they're the only males present and they're under the control of, their mothers, they end up playing roles that they really shouldn't be, roles that are inappropriate. And even though most often it's not sexual, there are instances where it can cross into a sexual line. But at the end of the day, a son husband is basically a biological son who is fulfilling emotional roles for his mother that should be reserved for adult boyfriends, significant others, and husbands.
Exactly. Exactly. Like that man said, the son husband fulfills the roles that are reserved, fulfill roles in his mama's life that are basically reserved for the boyfriend or the husband. And little Scrappy is a prime example. She's a single, but little Scrappy's mom is a prime example. She's a single mother with no boyfriend or husband. Her son is the only man in her life. Yeah. Sound like a setup to that. And like the man said, because these boys are under the control of their mothers, they really have no other choice but to try to fulfill said role in their child's life, in the mom's life. They really can't fight about it, and this puts them in a position where they can't even have relationships with women of their own age range. So yeah, it is just sad to see. This son husband stuff needs to stop. And since nobody's coming up, which is okay with me, because everybody's pretty busy this Friday morning. I understand that, but I appreciate everybody for stopping by. If nobody wants to come up, I'll just shut the stream down. So I guess at this point, I'll give my final thoughts. Okay, my final thoughts on this whole son husband thing. I think it's just totally out of control. I think son husbands is very toxic, not only to the mom, but to the child as well. Who suffers more from this? Well, you could say it's a matter of opinion, but I'm gonna say it's the child that's gonna suffer. Because the child's gonna spend so much of his life leaning towards his mama that he's not gonna find any significance in trying to find a partner of his own. Even if he wants a partner, he's got to sit up there wondering, is his mama gonna be okay? What's his mama gonna think? It's like her opinion and her thoughts matter more than what he thinks or what others think. He's going to be more concerned. Like if he try to get a girlfriend, he's got to wonder, is my mama going to like her? Is my mama going to want me to be with her? After all, her needs come before his, right? I used to go through that myself at one point. Wondering, can I date a woman without my mama's judgment? After all, it's her house. I have to live under her rules. So I date whoever she allows me to date. So yeah, that's how some of them may feel. And when you're a single mother with no boyfriend, no husband of your own, and your son's the closest thing to a man that you have, the only man you can call on, the only man you can count on when you need things done around the house, then yeah, that can set that up for that. Now, granted, my own mother never needed me for no emotional support because she knows it should never cross into that territory, but she does need me for certain things to be done around the house that only a man can do. So it didn't completely go down that road, thank goodness. But I've heard stories of situations like this. I've heard the stories. I'm not going to act like it doesn't happen. I may be an exception, but we all know exceptions do not change the rules. So if you're a young man born to a single parent household and then cross into a son-husband relationship like myself, for example, I say good for you. Good for you. It's a good thing it didn't cross over into that, but we're not going to act like this kind of stuff does not happen. I believe that we should address issues where they've happened to them or not, happened to us personally or not, because who knows, maybe you may encounter something like this one day, and now you can watch out for the red flags, and you can watch out for all the dangers. Like understand the red flags of what a son-husband relationship looks like. You can keep yourself from actually getting into that position. Like you saw in the first video in part 1, that young man had no idea that his mom was trying to turn him into a son husband. But as he got older, he realized what the hell was going on. So yeah, take a page from his book and understand female nature and how some of these single moms be operating, especially when they can get a man of their own. The only problem is some of these single moms are not even worth anything outside of a pump and dump. Yeah, they'll get the companionship, but they're not going to get the long-term relationship at the end of the day. And that's just sad. But I guess some people need to be by themselves because some people are just not relationship qualified. But it is what it is. Some people in this world are just not qualified to be in committed relationships. It's unfortunate, it's sad, but it's true. In the words of Metallica, sad, but true. I'm just sorry to say, but that's just the way that goes. But to you single moms out there, do not try to turn your kids into specifically your son or sons into substitute mates. Don't ever try to do that. Your sons are just that. Your kids, they're not your friends. They're not your homeboys. They are your sons. You're to raise them, feed them, teach them life lessons until they're old enough to go out into this world and experience this stuff for themselves and take everything you taught them up to that point and put it to good use. That's your job as a mom. And that will always be your job as a mother. You are not a substitute wife for your kids. So stop trying to put them in these positions to take care of you emotionally and mentally. That is not their job. I mean, is it the son's job to be there for you and make sure you're okay? Yeah, but only on the level of a child or on the level of what his role is in the family. In this case, he's your son. He's not your husband, so he does not have to fulfill those needs in the same way a husband would. That's the bottom line. He is not to fulfill those needs in the same way a husband would. He's supposed to be there for you in the same way a son will be there for his mom. I'm not saying be selfish and not give a damn what's going on in your mom's life or what she's going through. I'm just saying don't act as some sort of substitute husband for your mom. You're to fulfill your job as a son is to fulfill all the needs of the household that don't involve you, doing stuff for, reserved for a husband or a boyfriend. In other words, it is not your job as her son to fulfill mental, psychological, and physical or intimate needs. That is not your, especially intimate. Especially intimate. And you saw in that video where Tia Mowry was showing off that swimsuit or whatever the hell that she was in front of her son. Ladies, you do not do that with your son, especially when your son is underage. I don't care how old your son is. You don't do that to your son. Never. You don't flaunt new outfits and new clothes in front of your sons as if you're trying to show off for a new man. Wanting his opinion is one thing, but first of all, make sure what you're wearing is presentable, that the son won't get appalled by it. And second of all, you don't go around here showing off in front of your son as if he's your man. Don't ever do that as a single mother, as a mother, period. Even if you're a married woman, don't ever do that to your sons. That's reserved for your husband. Your husband is supposed to look at you in a physical manner and validate your beauty, not your son. Your son is not to validate your beauty in that manner. No, never, ever, ever. So stop trying to create these son husbands just because you can't go out there and get a man of your own. Again, single mothers out there, do not turn your sons into husbands by having them fulfill needs that are basically reserved for either a boyfriend, a stepdaddy, which I recommend you don't do, or a husband. Know your place and make sure your kids know their place. That's the bottom line. That's all I got to say on that. And since nobody wants to come up, I guess I'll shut this stream down. Those are my final thoughts on this whole thing. Before I dip up out of here, I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I mean, nobody came on the panel, but that's okay. We all are busy. Let me say shout out to Scented Cole, Unpredictable, always at her Pentacole. Thanks for stopping by. Let me say shout out to Stoic for stopping by once again. Next time you can come on the panel and chop it up with your boy, if you're willing and able to. And I want to say shout out to Sweet Melody. Love what you're telling me. The way you kill it, it's a felony. Shout out to you. And I'm praying and hoping that your new channel, Sweet Melanie Amber, grows. And whether you call yourself Melanie Amber or Sweet Melanie, you're always going to be Sweet Melanie in my eyes, okay? You're definitely going to be Sweet Melanie in my eyes. That will never change. I mean, sometimes we have to start over, but hey, as long as you don't give up. And shout out to Dr. Claude, the mad music producer. Glad you came in to comment on this channel. And shout out to Tools the Dawn. Shout out to you for stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I got plenty more content to come. In fact, I already got my next show in mind. I just got to get it set up for next time. But let me put this message out real quickly before I dip up out of here.
The life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe. Yo, it's the life of hustler and muscular. That's my name in this game. Hustler and muscular. Come at me with beef. I'll switch into a tussler within a heartbeat. Best believe and achieve.
All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. This is your boy Hustler and Muscular, also known as H&M, dropping some gems, stomping harder than a pair of Timbs. I'm out of here, y'all. Deuces!
Welcome to San Andreas, I'm CJ from Grove Street, landed the heinous gangbangers in cold heat. And Los Santos neighbors get no sleep, even with anybody competing, either road meets. Old deep in the green rag with gold feet, blast with the flower strap, that's OG. Stay in shape, hit the gym, lift the weights. The super cutter, big and buff, nice and straight. You got stats, respect, weapon, steel, stamina, muscle, fat, and sex appeal. You get clothes from Binkos and prolapse, suburban sick, victim and research. Watch your back when it rival rulers. They'll test just to guess if your survivors are brotherless blue, ducking shields at the club and bail. Jump out, busting, gun until they tuck their tail. It seemed like I'm on impossible nostrils. Mid switch to predicaments, hostile positions. Tim Benny and Velasquez harass me. Cop course been on our ass the last week. Cause the Dre is full of gangsters on board. Hands is a language for the bangers on board. And it's dangerous, whole boy. Get your brains through for how you do the thing, this whole boy. Deep pop, be poppin', hoppin', stuff them out in the block, shake before the cops come. Listen for sirens, they don't got none. Back another lap, get your spagger with the shotgun. Hitting them up with they Grove Street locked in a dirty sling shot. Roll me by.
I'ma smoke where I wanna smoke. Fuck that. I'ma choke who I wanna choke. Fuck that. I'ma ride where I wanna ride. Fuck that. I'm a nigga for life, so I'm a nigga till I decide. I'ma smoke where I wanna smoke. Fuck that. I'ma choke who I wanna choke. Fuck that. I'ma ride where I wanna ride. Fuck that. I'm a nigga for life, so I'm a motherfucking nigga till I decide.